Hello and good morning, everyone. This is Marcy with Feeling So Vintage. I am a 48-year-old mom of one, wife, gardener, college student. I have gone back to school to school. I sort of went right into a career when I was 19 that I did for a long time in Florida before moving here about 5 years ago. And I decided that I wanted to pursue something that I've always wanted to do, and I am in college right now to become a teacher. I'm working on getting my AA in a year, which is probably mental. I'm going to take a little break this summer because it has become a bit overwhelming trying to keep up on working full time and doing school full time and momming and wifing and house and garden, and I'm getting a wee bit burned out. But I did pick Feeling So Vintage because I always like to joke that I'm not old, I'm vintage. But I am considering managing Marcy. So please do leave any comment that you might have on which way you think is better. I was so inspired by Miss Kiara over at Budget and Grow and her financial goal breakdown that I had to copy a little bit. Hers is way better, but I had to copy and make one for myself so that I could have something in writing, keep myself in check. I'm hoping that this channel will also give me something to look back on in a year and actually see how far I've grown. I'm hoping to get great input from all the friends that I make because I am very new to this. I just started in November and I have a big growth curve to overcome. So hopefully you guys can let me know if you see anything that's cuckoo, crazy, not sane, and I can take some criticism and fix it because I really, really, really want to succeed at this. So what I did was I broke down quarterly the January, February, March, April, May, June, yada, 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 and figured out what I wanted my goals to be by year end. So my emergency fund, I want $2,000 by the year's end, which to break it up a little bit more bite size, I figured $500 a quarter, $170 a month, or $42 per week. My consumer debt, which I'll need to, I guess, do a video so I can kind of have that documented, is my goal is $12,000 by year's end, $3,000 a quarter, $1,000 a month, $250 per week. And then vacation fund, $4,000 minimum by year's end, which would be $1,000 per quarter, $335 per month, $85 per week. We were delayed. We always took trips around Christmas, even when it was just my husband and I before my daughter came. We would go to New Orleans or DC. We would do little fun trips instead of buying presents for each other. Then our daughter came along and we did that for a while. And then, the COVID hit and put a big damper on it. And that was the year she had turned 10 and we were going to get passports and start doing bigger trips because she was old enough to travel well and remember the trips. Because, I can't tell you how much money I blew when we lived in Florida, going to Disney and Universal and SeaWorld and all the places, Crayola Land. And she hardly remembers any of it. So we said when she's 10, 11, and can kind of form memories and be influenced a little bit by the travel, we were going to start doing that. And there was a big damper put on it. So this year, we finally were able to do it. So instead of Christmas, because I know that seems like a lot of money, but we don't do any gifts. We just will do this trip. We could only do our trips at Christmas because of the nature of our jobs. It is literally the only time my husband can leave work and have the boss covers for him. And I work at the same place. So we can't leave and have the boss doing my work and my husband's work during the busiest parts of the year. So we do it at Christmas. It works out great. And we save money on presents and we put it all towards this. Any additional money we want to go into our Robinhood and the Roth fund. About 15 years ago, I started a Roth when I had my awesome job back in Florida. I was making really good money. And I said, I'm going to start putting in there every year. I'm going to max it out. I literally started it with $2,000 and never touched it again. So it's nicely, even with the market down right now, it's like worth around 7,000. So yeah, it's grown, but we need to start concentrating on putting money in there because 48, 48, time is ticking away. I remember I heard an expression that life is like a roll of toilet paper. As you get closer to the end, the faster it goes. And oh my Lord, I really think that's true. So I'm not going to be putting a whole lot into it the next 2 years because I really need to work on getting this debt down, but I want to start getting into the habit of putting something in there. Second, on the additionals, we want to work on our month ahead on all of our bills by year's end. I think we can hit that sooner. I've got that broken down with the 5% rule, and I think we're going to be hitting that no problem. And we want to, by the end of the year, we have a fantastic local farm that's free range, organic, and you can purchase meat by this animal size. So we want to get a half a pig and a quarter of a cow. And we've been wanting to get meat chickens, but the electric fence cost just keeps going up and up and up because we want to free range them and move them around our property, but not completely free range because we have dogs in the area that come into our yard. So there'll be an electric fence and moved daily. We do have our own chickens currently that we get our eggs from. Thank goodness, because like all the memes on eggs, holy cow. They are so expensive right now. And we are having to offset costs on our eggs right now because it's winter and they're not laying as much. So I'm only getting like 3 or 4 eggs a day as opposed to like 8 to 10. So we did have to get a few eggs this week at the grocery store. Then moving on from our financial goals to personal goals. When I started this in like that last week of October or first week of November, roughly, I did it for a few weeks and I was getting some good momentum and figuring things out as much as you can in a week or two. And I said, well, gosh, if I can do this, I can work out too. I need to get back to the gym. Everything was opened at this point and it was just excuses that I hadn't gone back. I couldn't figure out when to make it work. And my husband reminded me they have showers there. So light bulb went off. So now I just take my daughter to school in the morning, hit the gym, shower at the gym, head to work. It's the only way I can make it work, but it does. Just have to always remember my flip-flops because, ugh. I want to finish my AA, which absolutely will be done this year. And then I need to get my applications out to the 4-year universities that I'm deciding on and figure that out. I want to start a side hustle by summer. I am taking this summer off. I was going to do my AA in a year and be done with it, but I need to have some mental break time. So I'm going to finish in the fall. It's not ideal, but it'll be good for me. And I'll get to spend a little more time with my daughter. It's the busiest time at my work. So it's really hard to spend time with her, work, and do school. So made a decision taking the summer off. And I want to figure out some sort of side hustle. Enlarging my garden and preserving more produce is huge. We save so much money. Well, I say that, but you have to buy soil and mulch and seeds and the things, but it's relaxing. I love being able to put food up for the family and fun different things like crazy jams and fun things. So I want to make sure I do that. And by taking the summer off, that's going to give me more time so I'm not frantically doing that at 1 o'clock every night or morning, whatever you want to call it. And I want to read more. It's been very hard finding time, as you can imagine, but I think I'm going to do my best to read more this year because I miss getting all the reading in. My daughter's a huge bookworm, and I'd love to just sit on the couch and have us each just cuddle up and read a book. For family goals, we want to save for the holidays and our Halloween trail. We have a little over about 6.5 acres, and it's tiered or terraced from when it used to be an old apple orchard up on like the hill mountainside. Not all the way, but there's a few terraces. So it's super fun. We can do hikes on it, and we set it up for a Halloween like scary trail. And my daughter had, I think we probably had about 12, 15 people here. Her friends and their families. We invited their brothers and sisters and their parents. And it was so much fun. Hearing the screams coming off the mountain was hilarious. And they have been begging for us to do it again. We did not do it this year because we were saving money for our trip. I really needed to like buckle down that last 2 months and save every dollar we could. So this year we would need to get more smoke machines, some more Halloween like lights and creepy things. And I always go to like old consignments and Goodwill and stuff and look for creepy dolls that are like, you know, those creepy dolls. So we need to get some more things. So I'm going to be saving anything we have left from each holiday that we don't spend is going to keep rolling over into the Halloween fund. We need to pick our location on where we want to do our next vacation. Pick our location. Did I say that? I think I said that. Sometimes my mouth will get ahead of my brain. So be prepared. It happens a lot. But pick a location and save for our next vacation. We have about 3 areas we've narrowed it down to. And I just want to make sure we know by summer so that I can start keeping an eye on tickets. We waited a little longer than we should have this last trip. And I think I ended up spending at least $100, $150 per ticket more than I probably needed to. We want to get back to doing our monthly dates together. As a family of 3, my daughter and I love going to the theater, and we go to movies pretty often. But my husband hates the theater, so he'd rather watch the movies at home, which we do all the time. But we need to get back to like doing either a nice dinner out or in our area and the locations around us. There's always seasonal fun things to do. Even just hiking. We have massive hiking in our area. So we want to get back to doing that. I want to set up summer camps for my daughter. I'm trying not to put like names and stuff, but I know I'm going to slip because my mouth, like I said, and I don't know if it matters, but I just blocked it out. But set up summer camps for my daughter in advance. Every year I wait till the last minute, we scramble, and I'm trying to find, anything that still has an opening. All the good stuff gets taken way in advance. So this year we're saving and going to set those up in plenty of time. We know we're going to be doing piano lessons. She plays sax right now and is amazing. She just got first chair in our local band competition, and now she's going for all district. So we'll see how she does. But we have a nature camp in the area that is phenomenal. It's like an award-winning nature camp. And we'll probably do an art camp because she loves doing art stuff. And then have more family game nights. I haven't told you about, it's kind of a weird, maybe an unusual setup that we have. When we moved here from Florida about 5 years ago, we decided we just were sick of the weather, the heat. My husband was working so long, his hours, and while both of us made twice as much money there doing our jobs than we do here, we're so much happier and healthier mentally, physically. We get to spend a lot more time together. He never got to go on any like trips and stuff that my daughter and I would do. And now we get to do a lot more together. In doing so, not only do we make less, but we ended up sort of offsetting the cost. We could not afford a builder in this area because they are crazy ridiculous. And even buying a home is so expensive. I think it's pretty much everywhere these days. But my mother-in-law has never driven in her life. So we've always lived right near her, especially when our daughter was born, because she was our helper. I took a year off of work. After that, my mother-in-law kept her every day. And she's always just been a gem. We love her. But, we have had to take her to the grocery stores and errands and things that she needs on a day-to-day basis or weekly. We've been responsible to make sure those get done with her. So when we moved here, we asked her if she would want to go in on a house together, and we would need to be building the house because it's crazy. We've never built a house before, but we decided we were going to do it, that we had enough skills that we could do it and we could hire people. I was the contractor and I hired out anything that we were not able to do. So we built it's like a mother-in-law quarters on one side. So she has her own bedroom, big walk-in closet, her own bathroom, her own like little dining area and living room, and a big massive kitchen that she wanted. And then we have a communal area that's like 12 by 24. That way we don't share a wall. We each kind of feels like we each have our own house. And then we have this communal area where I have like bookshelves and things for like when I'm doing my gardening, the little indoor greenhouse, things like that. And then our side of the house. Then to make things even more kind of cool, my brother-in-law and my father-in-law each have their own tiny houses. Like one is off in the woods over here up on the mountain, and one is over on the opposite side on the mountain, and they're like little off-grid tiny houses. So we're never alone here. We always have help if we need it, somebody to watch our daughter. And family game nights, I covered it. Family game nights were really something we had talked about doing more of. We've been now living, it took us 3 years to build the house and do all the things, the septic and well and driveway and building, and it was a long, arduous ordeal. Every day after work, every weekend was spent here on the property building. So we've been in about 2 years and we've been sporadic with this. I want to get better at it. I want to be doing these at least 2 or 3 times a month. And my word of the year is persistence. I feel like if I just stay persistent, chisel away, by the end we'll have a gorgeous, maybe a Michelangelo. We'll have something beautiful will come about from it. So that is my goals. And I hope that you guys will join me for the ride. Let's make it an adventure and help me, because I don't 100% know what I'm doing. A lot of you have way more experience. I've been watching. Oh my gosh, I've been so inspired. There's just so many beautiful people in the community. I've fallen in love with Liz over at Liz and Les, Kiara at Budget and Grow, Denise over at D versus Debt, Busy Lizzie, I mean, come on. Budgeting After 40, Autumn, Champagne's Corner. That woman's like a queen. Like, she takes care of everybody. She's so supportive in the community. Golden Girl Budget. Who couldn't just love this laughter? Like, who doesn't need that in their lives? Stacy over Coffee and Budget. Oh my gosh. Emmy. Barbara Lynn. Michelle at Free to Fly. Oh my God, that woman. Just so beautiful. She's just such a soul. Beautifully Me and You, Handsome Bands, Katie, Balance and Budget. I mean, I could just go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. It's really not good for me because sometimes I end up watching videos when I'm supposed to be listening to my homework lectures, and that bad juggling. I'm just trying to keep it keep it going. But I want to thank you all because you're super inspirational and I appreciate you, and hopefully I'll be able to join the ranks and share some of these fantastic subscribers out there in the universe and get to know some more of you. So if you want to subscribe, join the ride. Hopefully this is just the beginning. It can only go uphill from here, I'm thinking. So thank you so much and have a gorgeous afternoon.